Happy Friday, everybody. It is time for the October Club Couture project. Today, I am going live to create the cutest little gingerbread house ornaments using Chalk Couture's exclusive October transfer shimmer pastes and some holiday surfaces. If you're ready for Christmas crafts, your DIY holiday decor, and a super easy Chalk Couture project idea, this is one you don't want to miss. Hey everybody, it's Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. Happy Friday. I am excited to be with you all this Friday. I have not done a Club Couture project live for a while now. And I'm not going to lie, I haven't really loved the past couple of months. Hey Marna, hello, happy Friday, good to see you. And that's okay. You know, we don't have to love it all. That's all right. And to be honest, I've seen some people do some really cute stuff with the September club, so I'm embracing it more. But when this one hit and we saw pictures, I knew immediately I was going to love it, and I knew immediately I was going to want to share it with you all. So we are going to get started. Apparently, I'm live on YouTube because I see comments, which is great. I'm always worried that the live doesn't actually go live like it's supposed to. And because I know the day that I'm like, oh yeah, it's going to be fine, I've always gone, is going to be the day it doesn't go live, and I don't realize that. So we are going to switch my camera view so you guys can just see this, and I am going to put my phone where I can see comments, see the live feed, same as when I am on Facebook. I need to be able to see the comments, except I can't watch myself live. Okay, this is the weird thing about YouTube, y'all. I can't watch myself live from my own channel, so I have to switch. Oh wait, there I am. Okay, I just did it wrong. That's all. All right, I can't watch myself live. I was just doing it wrong. Go figure. Okay, so now I can see comments and questions and all of that. Let's get that tilted back. All right, so we're going to take this out of the package. For those of you who may not be familiar, one, with Chalk Couture at all, and two, with Club Couture. So Chalk Couture is a high-end DIY home decor company, although home decor does not even begin to encompass everything. You can do textiles, lots of gift ideas come in for this time of year, as well as the home decor and ornaments and things like that. Club Couture, and we'll get into explaining what this is when I actually start to craft with it, but Club Couture is a monthly subscription, and you get an exclusive project every month. These are not available for retail sale, and it comes shipped directly to you. You get a transfer. These are reusable. You get your surface. So in this instance, we get you get 4 because you get 1 to go with each of the houses. Got some twine here that you can use to hang them if you want. And you always get some paste or ink depending on the project. For your very first Club Couture subscription, you also get a squeegee, but you can buy more of these from the Chalk site, or just reach out to your designer. We're always good to share some squeegees with our people. So this is a reusable silk screen transfer. So we're just going to open this up. I cut mine open from the top. They do have a little way to open them down here, but to be perfectly honest, that's sticky and it's kind of a pain in the butt to deal with when you're trying to get the transfers back in. I don't hang my transfers to store them, so I don't need this little hangy part there. And so I just cut mine open at the top. And I'm going to slide this out. And I do store them in the package, so we're going to keep that off to the side. And so this is a silkscreen transfer. The white is your negative space. It's sticky on the back, so it comes on this backer sheet, and that sticky is designed to help it stay on your surface and also adhere to the backer sheet for storage. But it's just like, it works just like a stencil, except you have mesh in this negative space. Now you can do these multiple ways. You can cut them apart. You can keep it all on the sheet, which is what I'm actually probably going to do today. I am going to need some paper towels, so let's make sure. Oh, and I am going to need some baby wipes because I am going to, I don't have baby wipes. That's okay. I can use Clorox. I'm going to show you all. I'm going to do one of these in my favorite technique, which is called hot mess. I need to be able to clean my fingers for that. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep them on the backer sheet and just do it that way. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fuzz this transfer a little bit. How is everybody doing this Friday? Let me know how you are. It is the last Friday of September. I cannot, y'all, I can't even. And I'm ready for fall. It is going to be 87 here. I am in Central Illinois. It is going to be 87 here, and excuse my language, I am pissed off about that. Excuse my language. As if that's the worst thing I'm ever going to say. But we are on YouTube, so, I am not happy. It is not supposed to be almost 90 degrees in Illinois in October. I'm over it. I'm over summer. I'm over the hot weather. I am ready for fall. And what I'm afraid is going to happen is what happened last year. We went straight from summer into winter. Like, we had 1 week of fall weather, and that was it. And fall is my favorite season temperature-wise, and so I need some cooler weather. All right, so what we did just there was take off a little bit of that sticky, just so that when you pull this up off of the surface, it doesn't pull up your paste. Or depending on the surface that you're using, doesn't pull up your, like if you're doing this on paper or even wood, like doesn't pull up any of your wood grain. Okay, so we're going to do this one first. If I can get it lined up. So they have these nicely outlined in just this solid white line, which does make it a little bit easier. And this might be what forces me to cut these apart, though. Just trying to wrangle this. There we go. While you're holding on to the whole entire sheet, can be somewhat difficult. And I'm sitting this on my backer sheet just to make it easier to pull this up. Also, my my self-healing mat is dirty. You can see I've already gotten a little bit of something on my transfer here. So I would prefer that not to be sitting on there if I can help it. Okay, so we're going to do this first one in just a solid color. I know, Myrna, you've said that before, like how hot it is in Florida. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. I'd be really over it there for sure. So we're going to do this first one. We're just going to do just a solid color, a one and done kind of thing. And we're going to use the shimmer crimson, which is what comes in the club kit for you. It's just this, I have my jar here. It's just this nice shimmery red. And you're going to take your squeegee and you're going to get a little bit of that paste on there. And you're going to cover your design and make sure that you've covered all of that negative space. Now that white outline, that really solid, bright white line, that is not negative space. That is just an outline on the transfer to help you line it up. Or if you decide you want to cut your transfer apart, you can use that as a guideline if you really want to, you know, cut the actual shape of the house. So we're just going to cover all of our negative space here. One of the things that I really love about a lot of these projects, well, really all of these projects, is you don't have to get fancy. A single color looks beautiful and is super simple. I could do all of these in just this shimmer crimson and they would be lovely, and I'd be done in like 5 minutes. We're going to peel this up nice and slow. And I'm going to let that rest right there for a second. And there we go. There's our first one, right? Already done. This thing will be dry in 5 minutes. I was a little off here. You know, it's kind of lined up there at the edge, but who cares? Nobody's going to care, right? If you're gifting it, people very much appreciate a handmade gift. You could flip this over and do it in the same color or a different color on the other side. You can also paint these. These are just MDF. So you could paint it and then chalk on top of it. If you are going to do that, I never do this, but I really do recommend that you let that paint sit for at least 24 hours before you chalk on it. And I highly recommend that you have our surface wax as well, because it just creates a protective barrier between the paint and the chalk paste and that transfer, so that you don't pull any of your paste up or the paint itself when you chalk on it. So that's one of them. And I don't think I'm going to use the shimmer crimson again, so I'll drop my squeegee in the water. I have a water bath over here on my left-hand side, and I use that when I am crafting in my crafting. We don't have a sink. We don't have a bathroom in our downstairs. And so I don't have a sink that I can easily get to rinse those off. So I just drop them in the water until I'm done. Yes, you can protect with, I actually have it sitting right here. You can spray with like a Rust-Oleum or even clear spray paint, or this Dixie Belle Gator hide is really nice. This is really nice actually too for wood, because the gator hide really, like, I don't know what, it really draws out the grain in the wood. So if you have a wood surface, it makes it look really pretty. But yeah, you can use any sort of water-based sealer. Mod Podge would work just fine. That would dry clear, or like I said, a spray. If you want to use a spray, Rust-Oleum or clear spray paint, anything like that, you can spray on it to protect it, so that if you are packing them up, they don't get scratched up. If you're gifting it, all of that. Okay, so we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do another one in just a single color. But we're going to use the shimmer frost. So you get white with the club kit, but my favorite white for holiday crafting is our shimmer frost. Try and get this lined up. Got a little, we're, if I was trying to be really picky, I would try to make sure that none of my non-negative space was over that hole, but I'm just not that picky. So this is my Shimmer Frost. You can see this is great for creating like a snow effect. We have a snowflake resin mold. And when I start to play with that, I'm going to mix a little bit of that Shimmer Frost paste in with my resin so that when the resin dries, it's got that sort of icicle snowflake look to it. And you can, I mean, obviously you can put just straight glitter in the resin too, but I want a little bit of that white paste in there as well. So we're going to just do this. And I'm just squeegeeing off the excess and putting it back in my jar, which also helps make these jars kind of last forever. And peel that up nice and slow. Try to hold that down so it doesn't come up with the transfer. Got that. Could also do some sort of, painting in here. So, you could go in and paint the door a different color. You could paint inside those little windows. You could paint thin lines inside the polka dots. There's just a lot that you could add to this yourself because you still have a lot of open space on these houses once you've added your design. So painting the doors and the windows, I think would be exceptionally cute. Yes, it is a very nice transfer. They did a very good job. They've done a very good job the past couple of years with the gingerbread kind of stuff. Gingerbread and nutcrackers have been very on trend the past couple of years, and the chalk designs around both of those things have been really, really cute. All right, so next we are going to, let's see, we're going to do this one. Now this is where I might have wanted to cut this, but we'll see. It might be all right. There we go. No, that's gonna line up nicely for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do my favorite. My favorite way to incorporate multiple colors into a design, and that is a technique that is called hot mess. And so we're actually, I know this is kind of a small design, so 4 colors is going to be a lot, but I want to bring in a little bit of pink, because pink and a little bit of teal, pink and teal Christmas is still very much a thing this year. We're going to use the Shimmer Frost and the Shimmer Crimson as well to just bring in a little bit of bright and a little bit of dark into that. So, oh, there we go. What you really, one of the single most important things that you will need to do hot mess is baby wipes or Clorox wipes. You need something wet to be able to clean your fingers in between adding your colors, because you don't want to dip your fingers back into a jar if you still have paste from the other jar on it. The other thing you have to kind of figure out is whether or not you want one color to be your predominant color. If you want one color, so say I wanted teal to be the predominant color, I would start with the teal and I would put more teal on there than anything else and then just add the colors in. Now for this, I kind of want it to be not necessarily equal. There's kind of no easy way to make it equal when you're doing this. But I don't have a predominant color in mind. So I'm just going to start with the white and I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to just make little circles of white with shimmer frost on the transfer. Various places, no real rhyme or reason. Just kind of make sure I have a little bit of the shimmer frost in sort of each area of the transfer, so to speak. Okay. And then I'm going to take my Clorox wipe. I have baby wipes somewhere, but I don't know where they went. And then we're going to take my Shimmer Couture Teal. I'm just going to use what's in the lid here. And got a little bit of white on my finger already, so we're going to wipe that off. And you're going to make dots, trying not to touch the color that's already on there. So I'm just filling up space, trying not to touch that white. It doesn't really matter the size. You're not necessarily wanting or needing to make them the same size. I just kind of want to make sure I've got a little bit of couture teal everywhere. A little bit right there. Obviously, this is easier to do with a bigger design. And I love this with florals. There are some transfers that I see them that just scream to me that it needs to be done in hot mess. And I'm going to take a little bit of Vanity, which is the September color of the month. So every month we get a new color of the month. Those are usually exclusive to that month. Every once in a while, there'll be something that is so wildly popular that they bring it back. So like Nominee, which was a gold metallic. Y'all, we lost our minds over that. And so we have that now permanently. Pucker is another one that they actually added into our ink offerings. It's a shimmer yellow. Now, when you add your last color, you don't have to be quite so careful because you won't be going back in to any of the other colors. Well, you do have, ignore that. You do have to be careful because you're going back in. But once you add your last color, when you're done, you're going to start making your circles bigger and connecting all these colors together. So you are going back into your jar. So you do need to, again, make sure that you're not contaminating. You want to make sure that you're not necessarily touching the other color. If you are, kind of try to clean your finger off. Like right there. I actually didn't. Thought for sure I was going to end up getting some white or teal on my finger. And then this is where I just kind of look and see if there are any major areas where I don't have any shimmer crimson, where I need to add maybe just a smidge. Okay. So now I have all my colors. And now we're going to do this. Take my finger off a little bit. Now we're just going to start. You're just going to go all around and you're just going to start to make those circles bigger. And this is how you blend all of your colors together. And I usually just go in one direction and then back in the opposite direction. So I just kind of am going from left to right here, making these circles bigger. You don't want to blend it so much that the color becomes brown. You want to make sure that all of your negative space is covered. And if you have an area where it didn't cover so well and you're not getting as much paste as you think you need, you can kind of take from another area and just, you have tons on your fingers at this point, right? And you can just kind of blend it around. So I think all my negative space is covered. So we're going to take my baby wipe here, wipe my finger off. Get that out of my way so I don't end up wearing any of it, which has happened before. And then you're going to take your squeegee, and this is where I kind of like to have a color tray because you can't squeegee that excess off into a jar, but you can squeegee it off into a color tray. And if you have a small project handy, you can use that paste for something else. So I would have enough paste in this tray, I could actually probably do that gingerbread house. So sometimes I try to keep something small when I'm going to do hot mess so that I can use up this. Now, if I put this in a Ziploc baggie, I could probably use it again tomorrow or maybe even Sunday as well. So you aren't completely wasting all that beautiful marbled color. Okay, so I'm going to take this and try to hold that down. And pull up nice and slow. Now this would have looked really, really pretty. I mean, it looks pretty the way it is, but imagine had I painted this white and then did this on top of the white without the replacing the shimmer frost maybe with something else. But you've got all that sort of marbling in there. And like some of that combined together, I don't know if you how well you can see it there, almost makes it look purple. Okay, so there's that one. And then the last thing I wanted to show you all, for anybody who's never seen it or maybe a little nervous about it, this is a nice small project to do that, is the paste and peel, which is another way to get multiple colors onto a design. And it took me a while. I did hot mess long before I started doing paste and peel. It always made me nervous. But it is easier than it seems. And again, this is nice and small, which helps. And we're going to grab some green for that tree. Okay, so we are going to use Ballet Slipper because I want to bring in some of that traditional pink. We're going to use the Shimmer Frost, and we're going to use the Shimmer Forest. So we're going to pull 3 different colors in here. I'm going to get some tools that will allow me a little bit more precision. And I'm actually going to try to do this upside down, which visually for me might not be the easiest thing in the world, but we'll give it a shot. Okay. All right, so we are going to do this right here in the Shimmer Frost. We're going to do the full outline of the house and the door in Ballet Slipper. We're going to do the greenery over the door and the tree itself in Shimmer Forest. And then I think we're going to do this up here also in the Shimmer Frost. So I kind of do my paste and peel in sections. And so we're going to, I'm going to work this way. So I'm going to move this up a little bit so y'all can see a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to work this way. And okay, so I said, what did I say? Actually, I'm going to switch this up. We're going to do the outline of the house in the Shimmer Frost because I want this here and this in here in the Ballet Slipper. Okay, so we're going to do a section at a time here. This probably needs to stir up. I can't yet. Let me find a stir stick. I didn't stir any of those shimmer pastes because they didn't really look like they needed it. This actually really didn't either. But you want your paste to be kind of like a yogurt consistency. And so we're going to take this. This is the multi-tool. It's got a squeegee tip on it, but I like it because you can hold it like a pencil, which makes what I am doing here really nice because I have kind of a small area to work in. Trying my best to not get any of that Ballet Slipper where I intend to put the Shimmer Frost. Not the end of the world if that happens. Turn this towards me. Getting my head under the camera. Turn this towards me a little bit. So I'm going to drop a link in the video description and maybe even pin a link in the comments when I'm done, where you can go on the Chalk website and just get a little more information about Club Couture. It's $21.99 a month. If you're a Perks member, you get your 30% off Perks member pricing for that, which makes it $17 something. This is the October kit. So if you sign up before Wednesday, you would still get the September kit, and then you'll get the October kit shipped out to you. They ship very early in the month. Okay, so then we're just going to peel that part up. That's all we're going to do is just peel off that right there. And then I'm going to very carefully take my finger and just run it along this edge to make sure that the transfer is stuck back down on that ornament. And then we're going to take the shimmer frost, and I'm going to use this. This is our detail tool. This is not on the site right now. I think they're having some manufacturing challenges. There's a metal rod in here that holds it firm. And we might have lost our source on that. I'm not sure if that's, I heard that in a meeting as some speculation, so I probably shouldn't be repeating it, but I do believe they're looking to bring this back. I think we're just having a bit of a manufacturing challenge on it right now. This is one of my favorite tools because this is a smaller squeegee tip than that multi-tool. Also the same kind of concept. You can hold it as a pencil, which I really like. And we're just going to go in here and get the shimmer frost on this. So who has started on their, if you do any Christmas crafting, who has started already? Or are we still in Halloween and fall? It's very weird for me to be thinking about and starting Christmas crafting. I'm actually in a 90 days to Christmas raid train on Whatnot this afternoon. Like, it's not even October. But it is what it is as a business owner in general, but as a craft business owner getting ready to go into this last quarter, I gotta be thinking about it already. So if you started crafting, if you started shopping, I have started shopping. I do tend to start Christmas shopping early, although I always end up in a bind that way because I overshop. So I really do in the next week or so need to sit down and update the list of what I've purchased and get real clear on what I already have. So we're doing more in the shimmer frost, but all I want to do on that is that little part right now, because again, we're working in sections. Okay, so we're going to push that back down. We're going to clean off this detail tool really well because I'm going to use that for the ballet slipper in that little center there. I have another one of these somewhere, but it's not in, I don't think it's in my box of tools here. No, I don't know where it is. It might be upstairs. I have 2 or 3 of these. And when they come back in stock, I will be ordering more. I have all 3 mix in my dining room table following Christmas. I understand how that goes. I got a little bit of that going on myself. I have 2 Halloween projects that are almost finished. I have a couple that I still actually want to do, but I don't think that's going to happen. I have something for the porch, like for me personally, that I want to do. That's fall, not Halloween. But I have a very big in-person show. I guess the second weekend in November. So that November 1st is a Saturday, so it's not that Saturday. I do have an event that Saturday as well. But that's probably just going to be a make and take or a product demo. The following weekend, I'm in a very big show, and I am nowhere close to where I wanted to be by this point in time in terms of having things ready for that. And it is full on Christmas. It's a Friday night and a Saturday. And Friday night, people come to shop. and I need to be ready. So I need to get moving. And as much as I want to keep doing Halloween, and I might still, give myself a ratio, you get 3 Christmas things done, get 3 things done for Hobnob, and then you can do 1 Halloween or fall project. But I need to turn my attention to that. Okay. Hold that down. We're going to pick that up. I did miss a little of those bottom little swirlies there because I think I was trying not to get into these little dots. I'm going to take this, I'm going to push that back down a little bit. I'm going to get a little more paste. And go back over those. Be a little bit braver about those polka dots. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. All right. We're going to clean that off again. So the thing about paste and peel, the biggest thing about paste and peel is just to give yourself some time. This is probably the longest it's ever going to take you to do a project unless you're doing watercolor, which can take a while depending on the size of the project. Definitely worth the investment of time. But on a paste and peel, you do have to kind of go slow and easy. So if you're looking, to get a project done quickly, one and dones are stunning. I particularly like one and dones in black or storm or ash, which is our new kind of darker gray. It's a little bit darker than grayish, not quite as dark as, actually no, ash is darker than storm and a little bit darker than both grayish and storm. Really pretty gray. And I think a lot of our transfers look stunning like that. So we've just got those polka dots there, right? And because I have this out, we're just going to go ahead and do these. I'm just going up and down here because it's easier than trying to go left to right, but not hit this outside line. I could do this side over here. I did there is a Halloween project on my channel from yesterday, contributed to a Pumpkin Palooza playlist. So that's got some really cool fall and Halloween projects in there. And I love that playlist because we all do something different. It's called A Common Canvas, like the name of the collaboration is called A Common Canvas. And it's a quote unquote paint artist playlist or collaboration. I am not a paint artist, but this kind of fits. So that playlist went live yesterday. 2 weeks ago, we did a day at the beach where everybody had to do a different section of a beach scene. So we all were assigned different parts and we all made our paintings. And then the woman who runs the collaboration took pictures of all of our paintings and put them all together to create the beach scene. And then the playlist was everybody's videos of how they did their piece. So that was pretty fun because I had the bathing suits, and that I did actually paint, which kind of made me, think outside the box about how to do that, because I don't draw, I don't paint. That's all outside of my normal scope. So that was really fun, which is part of the reason I like to do that playlist. Okay, so I went ahead and did all of the shimmer forest. If you are new to paste and fill and you're not comfortable with that, you would just do one section at a time. Lift your transfer up. Very careful to not lift it all the way up off of your surface. So I'm just going to stop right there. And we're going to let this fall. Now, if this even makes you a little bit nervous, you can always do all of one color, wash your transfer, let it dry, put it back down, line it up, do your next color. I actually did things that way long before I was comfortable doing paste and peel, and it's fine because you can line it up pretty well without a whole lot of difficulty, and that gives you a way to add multiple colors too. So we're going to use a different multi-tool because that's still got a little pink on it. We're going to do this one. And now we're doing the shimmer frost on this outer edge of the house. I can go a little bit faster because I'm moving away from where that green is, so I don't have to worry quite as much, except in a few places. And the edge of this squeegee part on the multi-tool is nice and skinny. Something like this too, if you get it all done and you've got like a few little spots where maybe you missed, let it dry and then just take a really small paintbrush and take your paste and kind of just dab into the area where you feel like you maybe, missed some spots. But let it dry. Anytime you have a project like this and you think you've messed something up, unless you're trying to get paste off, say you got paste on your surface where you didn't want it, yeah, obviously you're going to want to try and get that off when it's wet. But if you are working in your design and you're trying to fix something, let your paste dry first before you start trying to dab more paste on or something like that. I have messed up stuff so much worse by trying to do it when it's still wet. And I just, actually, I think that'll be fun. I don't think I actually hit the green there. Okay, and then we're going to lift the transfer off this way. Just right to that little edge, and I'm holding on to it with my finger over here on my left hand side to keep it from pulling all the way up. I'm going to do that again. I need to kind of guide it to fall. Okay, there we go. The biggest reason I'm trying to make sure that it adheres back to the ornament when we're done with this part is to make sure that we don't have any bubbles. So if you have bubbles, then you might get some bleed. where your paste gets outside of the negative space. Okay. And then we're going to lift the transfer off this way. I'm going to hold it right here. That way. A little bit right there where I don't think I got any paste. Check that again. There we go. And then we're going to do the outline of the door. In the shimmer frost, or I say shimmer forest. Sorry, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this new camera just yet. It's nice that it's right on top of my workspace, but I forget sometimes, and I know I end up getting the top of my head in the shot. Go around there. And then I want to use the ballet slipper, that pink, on those inside squares. What would be, I think, transom. Would those be transom windows? Or is transom only like up in the top of a door? Almost finished here. And obviously, I mean, I chose, to do 3 colors on something. On this, you could easily just do 2. Real slow, real careful. I can touch this now because it's dry. There's that. And we're going to get the lid back on here. My goodness, it's been almost an hour. And I need to clean this off. We used our greens last time. Another reason I need to find my other ones. And then this last little part, I'm going to touch the transfer right there because I don't think I have any paste there. Just to get these little pieces inside that door. And these would make, the fact that you get 4 of these make it really nice because you can separate this if you were looking for a small, gift giving idea. Kind of inexpensive projects to separate this out. Ends up being about $5 per ornament. If you are not a Perks member and you're paying kind of that full price for the kit. Right, so I'm gonna very slowly pull that up. And get the transfer in water real quick. Try it with my fingers. And then we've got that one. I've got like a little spot right in that bottom corner that I'll probably just take a paintbrush and the paste when it's completely dry and kind of touch that up a little bit. But that's your, that's kind of your paste and peel there. And then, you put your little ribbon through it. If you've got big enough jump rings, you could put the larger jump rings through it and then add your ribbon there as well. So they kind of hang a little bit farther down. So here's all 4 of them. Let me get all 4 of them lined up here again so you can see. So you get all 4 of these, as well as the reusable transfer, and then your shimmer crimson and bright white paste. And then if you wanted to add other colors, we sell these, just the individual paste packs if you are new to chalk and don't have other colors at home. Okay, so that's it. I am going to thank you. I know, I like them. They're super cute. I was really excited when I saw this come out because, like I said, I wasn't really wild about the last couple of months. Although I got to give people credit. They have done some super cute things with the September, which was a frame. It was a frame made out of this and a plaid transfer. And sometimes you just got to see other people do stuff because your initial reaction is, I don't know what I would do with that. And then you see other people and you're like, oh, that's what you do with it. That's cute. So I actually do have a couple of project ideas from that one. Okay, so that's it for me today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you're catching this on replay and you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. I will get notified and I can come back and answer. And then I will come back along in the description and I'll pin a comment with a link to the Club Couture information on the Chalk website. I don't know what's going to happen next Friday. So next Friday, I will actually be at the Great Junk Hunt in Nashville. So I'm not sure if I'm going to load y'all up with a pre-recorded video. Thank you, Myrna. You have a good weekend as well. If I'm going to load y'all up with a pre-recorded video, or if I maybe try to go live for a few minutes from the junk hunt, just to kind of show you all what I'm seeing. So we'll figure that, or maybe both. Who knows? You might get both. So either way, there will be something coming from me next Friday. So I will see you all then. Have a great weekend. Talk to y'all later. Bye.